say there's an improvement in technology as well as expanding in more technology. As of right now, people are increasing in all the devices that they have currently, which is bringing a demand for more energy. To resolve this solution for more energy, we have various energy sources, and one of those are nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is sufficient for all these needs, but with it there is some deficiencies, but as of right now they're making up solutions to surpass these deficiencies.
The current energy sources that we have now work for us, but they could not be, they might not be sustainable, such as fossil fuels. While they release harmful pollutants and global warming gases, we will run out of them eventually because we can't just keep drilling until we get to the core of the earth. So, and then windmills and solar panels are also great energy sources. However, where we get the energy from is not always constant. For example, for windmills, we always need wind, and it's not always windy. For solar panels, it's cloudy like days like today. And another option we have for energy is nuclear power, where this uses uranium or plutonium as fuel, and it has long-term waste disposal and a large radiation release. So while these energy sources work, they're not virtually sustainable. Looking for other energy sources is a great option, so that's our job. We're looking at fusion power. While it has many advantages, it uses hydrogen isotopes as fuel, which is basically a virtually unlimited source of energy, and there is no harmful pollution release. The only product that it does release is helium, and there is no risk of large-scale release of radiation.
Before talking about the obstacles that the human race would have to overcome in order to make nuclear fusion a possible source of electricity, we have to talk about the basic function of a nuclear fusion reactor. A nuclear fusion reactor produces energy by combining two hydrogen atoms using a strong magnetic force in order to have the hydrogen atoms overcome the strong nuclear force, allowing them to merge and create a more stable atom, helium, and in the result release a lot of energy. For nuclear fusion to become an option in the world today, there are many obstacles that have to be overcome by scientists. The first and greatest obstacle to overcome would be the energy deficit that nuclear fusion reactors have. It takes far more energy to run the nuclear fusion reactor than the reactor puts out itself, resulting in a useless experiment that can't be applied to real-world needs. The second issue is how expensive they are to build, run, and operate. The cost to operate one for such a low output with the energy deficit is not worth it financially, and it takes a lot of money to get a grant to build one that could actually work. The final issue, and one of the key ones, is that we don't have the materials to build nuclear fusion reactors. They must operate at a temperature close to the temperature of the inside of the sun, and right now there is no known material on Earth that makes that possible.
Due to the high temperature needed for fusion, currently most reactors use magnetic fields to hold the plasma away from the walls of the reactor. One of the research areas in nuclear fusion right now is being done at the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor in France. Here they are investigating whether or not it's possible to organize the fusion by its kinetic energy so that certain areas will have almost 100% chance in the event of a collision, a fusion event will happen. The other goal of this research area is to be able to figure out whether they can finally have a reactor that will create a positive output of energy compared to how much energy is needed to sustain the fusion. The other area that scientists and engineers are looking into is whether or not it's possible to use deuterium and helium-3 instead of deuterium and tritium as the fuel sources. The advantages of deuterium and helium is that it lacks the neutron that will slowly degrade the walls of the reactor, and it will release more energy. But the disadvantages is that there's a lot more energy needed to be able to sustain a fusion reactor of this fuel source.
Compared to current sources of energy, nuclear fusion has some major advantages in that its fuel is abundant and does not present the hazards to the environment and human life as associated with the current sources of power. However, the current state of nuclear fusion prevents it from becoming a viable real-world source of energy. Not only does it take more energy to run the reactor than is actually produced, it is expensive to build and maintain. However, the potential for nuclear fusion fusion is limitless and should be pursued relentlessly, as it could benefit mankind for centuries to come.